my sister and I was 10, and we were selling candles for church. Remember the tall crystallized ones with the pictures of Santa and Jesus shaking hands? And so there's candle boxes stacked all around the house, and my dad has had it. And he's like, are you two making any money on this? And we're like, no, we're selling them for church, Dad. He goes, yeah, now you're going to learn something. How much you selling them for? And we said, $3.50 each. He goes, you two are going to sell them for $5. And that's how we learned how to skim off the top.
Hello, everybody. Hello. This is the Funny Women of a Certain Age podcast. I'm your host, Shelly Colman, and you just heard Jackie Kashian, who is our guest today. Hello, Jackie Kashian.
Hello, I'm me, and I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. Hello, Carole Montgomery.
Hi, I'm happy to be here too.
Excellent.
Jackie and I were just together, and we had such a blast.
We met for reals.
I was hoping to get the two of you together so that we could promote that show on this show, but that didn't happen because apparently I've gone insane. But now we can talk about what a great show it was and how much fun you had.
Reminiscing. Yes, we could reminisce.
You can. So who wants to start?
Jackie was amazing. We had the best time.
Of course.
I mean, but I have to tell her, Shelly, I mean, the show was great. But I got to meet Jackie's dad and her whole family.
Yes, my brother.
And her father is the Midwestern version of my Jewish father. I mean, the exact. He was such a blast, and I'm going to promote for you, Jackie.
Sure.
He's an artist, and he was showing me all of his paintings. And Jackie goes, well, I sell them for my dad, and I have one.
And Carole bought one of my dad's paintings, which is, it keeps him off the pipe, it keeps him off the pole. He's 88 years old.
That's all that matters.
It started in lockdown. He's always painted. So I just put him up on Instagram. I don't take a cut. Somebody said to me, that doesn't feel super Armenian of you. And I was like, I've created a monster though, because now he's churning them out. In the hopes, he's like, do you think this would sell?
The one I have it in an area in my living room, and every day when I walk past it, I just smile.
Oh, good.
No, I love it.
It's Starry Night, and then it has a couple of doves in it.
Yeah,
so you picked a good one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's Andy kept the horses. Andy wanted to keep the horse one, so I still have a stack, and he keeps painting more and more of them. And the woman who bought one of the chicken ones, I gave her 2 other chicken ones. She has a grandson who lives in New Zealand and has a chicken farm, and she's going to send it to him. I said, send him all of them. Send him these 3, because it feels like when you throw away your kids' art, or what I imagine what it feels like. Except for, of course, my parents never kept any of my art, so right back at you, Dad. Watch me throw it out.
I don't think it counts as throwing it out if he's getting money for it. I mean,
right. Well, I didn't charge for the other 2, and I didn't tell him, and he's never going to hear this, so we all win. But yes, It was very funny when Carole met my dad. She just kept going, it's like my dad. It's like, I miss my dad so much. Look how great your dad is. And I'm like, sure. He told her a dick joke.
And when I told my husband the joke, because we've all heard the joke, he said that my father would have changed the name of the restaurant to something more Brooklyn.
Okay, what was it called?
Jackie?
I can't even remember the joke. It was all just about getting a tattoo on his penis, and then when it gets hard, the letters fill in.
Okay.
Right. Yes. It's my dad. I did do this, though. Corey Kahaney does old people cruise ships.
Yes.
And so she told me one of the street jokes she tells on the cruise ships. And I told him that joke, and because I knew he would love it. It is it's a joke about the 3 old women sitting on a bench, and a flasher comes by and flashes them. And the first old woman has a stroke, and the second old woman has a stroke, and the third woman couldn't reach him.
That's a dad joke. That's a dirty street dad joke.
Amen. By definition.
Well, so basically, the show was fine, but the best part was hanging out afterwards or
We had a
before.
really good time, and the show was fine. The show sold pretty well, I thought.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sold very well. Sold very well.
So
And
it was Jackie Kashian, Carole Montgomery, Leanne Lord, and the mighty Tammy
Tammy
Pescatelli.
Pescatelli.
Anyway, I do need to take a second to apologize to our hordes of listeners for not having a new episode in the month of February. I alluded to the fact that I have gone insane, and I think I did. I think I may have lost my mind. It was a combination of the extremely cold weather we had in the Northeast and the snowstorm we had and my half birthday. Yes, I still celebrate my half birthday. I'm 132 and a half. And going to the retina doctor and having them shoot very bright lights into my eyes. And also a couple of news items that I happened to come across in my daily life, which filled me with, usually it's ennui, but this time it
Anxiety
was
and dread.
yes, exactly. Which brings me to Jackie Kashian's latest hour, which is called Altercation. And
Thank
when I watched it, I was one of those people going, yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm going, what I spend a lot of time sputtering and spinning in circles and going, I cannot believe this. And then I go, wait,
Yeah.
of course I can believe it because everything is horrible.
But
So
there's
you
always hope.
addressed the state of the world in your special, which is available on YouTube. And you talk a little bit about it, but what I found so helpful, I guess, was that it wasn't specifically this guy did this and this guy did that, and it was more about this is how it feels, people. Why is this like it is?
Yeah, I'm not I don't write topical. I don't
Yeah,
have all of the information. You know what I do have? I have a lot of feels.
right.
And that emotion can sometimes create a punchline, and sometimes it's just fun to watch me sputter and go, "I can't believe how angry I am."
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
If I may quote you, Jackie Kashian is made of bees.
I am made of bees, and I just got the enamel pin. It's a bee. There's T-shirts and beanies that say "made of bees" that was art
Uh-huh.
done by Jenny Fine, amazing artist. But we pulled the bee out of it and made an enamel pin that's going to be a fundraiser pin. It's just
Oh,
going to be
nice.
attached to the album on a card, and then you buy that. You get the pin, you get the download, and then all the money goes to it'll go to various groups that are helping immigrant rights and
Oh,
people
cool.
being able to live indoors. How about that?
I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of living indoors. I'm very
but
big on that. I call me elite, but I like having a roof and walls and, doors and stuff.
one of the reasons I love what Jackie does, as if Jackie's not right here, but is that she doesn't separate. It's not a me versus that. This is what we're all in, and I
Yeah.
love that. I love that because sometimes comics, and there are great comics that do that type of political stuff. But Jackie, by the time you're done watching Jackie, if you're right or left, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
We're all being driven mad. We're all being driven mad. I
right.
mean, it doesn't matter if you have what I would consider all of the information, or your empathy has been somehow cracked, and then the pieces of it have been spread upon the earth, like you're on some sort of scavenger hunt, and you have to put them together before you can figure out that nobody has it in for you. It turns out the bad guys have it in for all of
All of
us,
it.
and they
Yeah.
would like to nickel and dime everybody until they have all of the monies, and then they can live on Mars, and I would enjoy that. I would love
That's
it if
actually,
they all
yeah,
went
that
to
would be a
Mars.
good thing. My only problem with that is I'm kind of a space nerd, so I like, why do you get to go to Mars and I don't? But you know what? It's fine.
Oh.
You want to go to Mars? Fine, go to Mars. I'll go to the moon.
Here's my question about space travel. Do you have the skill set, science, math, to live
Oh,
in space?
of course I don't. Of course I don't, but I have the
Okay.
desire.
Okay, so you wanna die in space. I've been there. I would
Absolutely.
like to die in old growth forests, but I don't know how to camp. But that's how I would go.
Well,
That's how I
my
would be
two
put down.
choices, if I get to pick how I go, either crushed to death by puppies, live happy puppies playing,
Oh,
or in the
That's an
cold dark vacuum of space, because in that nanosecond before my lungs imploded, I'd be going, this is so cool. So that's what
Maria Bamford's looking for a blow that she doesn't see coming.
Oh, I
A
like
blow to
that.
the head.
A blow
Yeah.
to the head to show the skin cup. That's hysterical. That's
And Carole, I know you want to live forever, so that's not even an option.
No, I don't. I do not want to live forever. I figure I got another good 20 years in me, and then I'm
Oh, they're good. Yeah.
I'm going to that comedy club in the sky. But getting back to wealthy people, I just have to tell you the story because and it is like I think regular people, like you said, just want to be clothed, just want to be housed, maybe travel a little bit. But I had a friend that was pretty wealthy. I'll never forget this. I was at her mansion having dinner with her. I was staying over, and her neighbor, who was wealthier than her, had a bigger mansion. He started talking about his private plane. And then she started whining because she goes, I want a plane. And I looked at her in front of all the people. There was like 20 people. I went, you have a fucking boat. Why do you need a plane? And it went quiet. It went so quiet.
Yeah, no, right. You don't want to call out anyone's greed publicly when they're out greeting each other.
Yes.
Well, David Letterman once said, and I loved it, no whining on the yacht.
Yeah.
He's not wrong. I have to tell you, as a child, we didn't sometimes have underwear.
Right.
So I consider myself fabulous. Every piece of clothing I'm wearing right now, I bought without looking at a price tag.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
This watch was $75. I found that out later, but I wanted it. Right?
Good for
This
you.
T-shirt was $39 for no reason. It just has Minnesota, we like each other or something. It's a Minnesota, we like each other, and you're mad about that T-shirt. And I bought it on the internet because Facebook has my number. And then I'm wearing a pair of shoes I bought. I have socks. If I wanted to wear underwear, I would have it on right now. But it just
We have just crossed over into the TMI section of the episode. It's okay, since you brought it up, if you were going to wear underwear, what kind would it be?
I own bodysuits. They sold me a bill of goods when they introduced Spanx into the plot.
Yeah.
And somebody told me I had to wear Spanx. So ever since then, I've just been wearing Spanx. And
Jackie?
that's what I wear. Yeah.
Jackie, you don't have to wear Spanx.
Wait a minute. News
That is
coming
correct.
in. News coming in. Well, so when I don't wear Spanx, I often do not wear underwear. I'm just like, it's fine. And you know what my husband says about that? He likes to say, well, you are confident. Speaking of
That's right up there with, oh, you're so brave.
And I was like, yes, I guess it is very lucky as we get older to be confident in my bodily functions where I don't have to actually worry too much about the underpants.
I wear 3 pairs of underwear for the exact opposite reason. Because
All
I
at
am
the
not
same time?
confident.
Not confident.
I am not confident because I don't know where the stains are coming from now.
They're coming from inside the house.
Well, Carole does say incontinent, not incompetent.
Not incompetent, yes.
Good Lord. Okay, I'm going to switch the subject, if I may. Jackie Kashian, you have 2 podcasts.
Yes, I do.
I am overwhelmed with one podcast. So, the podcast that you do with Lori Kilmartin is very cool. It's 2 comics talking about comedy.
Right. And there's not a lot of 2 women comics talking about comedy. I mean, I actually don't know of any other 2 women. But I don't listen to podcasts. It's weird. I have 2 podcasts. I listen to no podcasts. I have listened to 1 season of Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Wiser Than Me. Have you heard that interview podcast where she interviews like Jane Fonda and Carol Burnett? Like she has the best guests. Julie Andrews.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I have not heard it. I went to school with her, by the way. Thank you. Name drop. Boom.
Let me pick that up.
You went to school with Julie Andrews?
No, not Julie Andrews. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She was a year behind me, but we were there at the same time. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Joan Cusack went to my college.
Oh,
cool. Cool.
Carla
Carole?
Ray went to my high school. not Carole. Yeah, who?
Caroline Ray? Caroline
No,
Ray?
Carole Ray. The woman from
Ray
Cheers.
Charles?
Rhea,
I know who you mean. Rhea Perlman.
Rhea
Rhea
Perlman.
Perlman.
Yeah. And you know who else went to my high school? Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, nice.
Charming. Charming. My brother once met Jeffrey Dahmer. Is that something?
See? That is
Wow.
something.
I
So now there's a podcast, Near Misses with Horrible People.
live in Brooklyn. I have near misses with horrible people every damn
Every
day.
day.
Yeah. So anyway, your other podcast, which is the one that I really love the idea, is the Dork Forest. And you've been doing that one for 20 years, right?
20 years, the Dork Forest, dork on dork dialogue. What do you dork out about? I'm willing to talk to you about it. Maria Bamford, we talked about The Artist's Way. She wanted to talk
Yes.
about The Artist's Way. And this is my copy, which must be, it was published in 92. This is probably from 2002 when I heard about it. But it's falling apart because I loved it so until I stopped doing it. But maybe I
Well,
internalized
of course.
it.
Of course. Yes, that's what you did. It is now part of you. You don't need the actual physical book. It has
That's right.
become you. You are now the artist's way.
Exactly. But the Dork Forest can be about anything. You know, Guy Branum did an episode about the Mitford sisters. There's a TV show on Netflix about them. There were 5 of them, I think. There were 6 kids. And the 5 girls, they all became relatively famous. 2 of them were Nazis. And one of them might have dated Hitler. And one of them went on to become a law professor at Berkeley, and she taught Hillary Clinton at law school. And one of them became the Duchess of What. And I don't know a lot about the dukedoms. In romance novels, there's 1,000 dukes. Like there can't possibly be that many dukedoms in Great Britain because then nobody else would own land.
So
That's true.
the
Well-
Nazis taught Hillary? Is that what you're saying?
No. The one who was a socialist went to and ended up teaching at UC Berkeley.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah, crazy ass. Yeah.
Why did you start the podcast? Did you have a specific dorkdom that you wanted to talk about?
No, I found out about podcasts in 2006 and
Yeah.
it was essentially at that time it was just a conference call being recorded and uploaded to the internet.
Right. Yeah.
And the Dork Forest was a joke I did in probably 2001 and it was about how I'm a dork, but there is a certain point where you have to draw a line. I will hang out with almost anyone, but I draw the line right before war reenactment guys.
Yeah.
And one of the punchlines was something like, how far into the Dork Forest you have to go to get to the war reenactment guys. So the Dork Forest ended up being the name of the podcast.
So what is your do you have a main dorkdom that you like sort of return to?
No,
Your personal one.
No, I have several, and it's all changed, right? It's like hobbies and stuff. I did an episode about embroidery. I was not interested in embroidery after that, but that doesn't mean I won't do an episode and go, I wonder what that's like. Like a lot of people do bands, and I don't know anything about music. Some
Right.
very famous episodes in my mind. Famous episode, somebody did Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
And in the course of me talking to this person about Fleetwood Mac, she said something about Stevie Nicks. And I said, was Stevie Nicks in Fleetwood Mac? And she said, Stevie Nicks is Fleetwood Mac. And I said, is her name Fleetwood? Is her name Mac? There's no reason I should have known that.
Why isn't the band called Stevie Mac?
Right. The things that I love that I have done Dork Forest about are roast chicken, romance novels.
Wait,
Marvel.
Wait, you got to stop. You can't just drop in roast chicken, so to speak. You did a whole hour on roast chicken?
For 20 odd years, have been trying to make a calendar of recipes of my favorite roast chicken. Roast chicken is my favorite food. Carole will remember that my high school friend Rachel Abraham served us skinless, boneless chicken breasts the other night, and she may wake up Rachel Abraham in the night being smothered to death by a pillow, because it's my least favorite. Because when you take the skin and the bone off a chicken, you have removed all flavor. So you have to then marinate these skinless, boneless chicken breasts to replace the flavor. And so you don't have to eat the skin and bones. I might, you don't know. But you don't have to. You could get yourself a chicken breast, take the skin off, remove all the bones, pat it dry, do whatever, try to make it back into the hockey puck of your dreams. But if you cook it on the skin and bones with, let's say, cumin, coriander, a little paprika, some lemon juice, some garlic. It was really the only food that my stepmother was really good at making on the regular, because she didn't like to cook, but the one thing she could cook and did well was a roast chicken. And she would just bake a chicken, and it would just be salt, pepper, garlic, and then she would dab butter on all the skin. She'd bake it at 350 for a million years, and we would eat it, and it was delicious.
Wow. So apparently, yes, you can talk for an hour about roast chicken.
We just took up 10 minutes right now.
Jeez. Okay. So was that your first episode of The Dork Forest?
No. The first episode was just Joe Wilson and I. For the first 3 years, I had a co-host, Joe Wilson, and then he realized that he was doing most of the real work of the podcast. And he was like, wow, I'm going to go have my own podcast. And I was like, you're not wrong. And so we're still friends because there was no money to split up.
Right.
So first we would just have people call in and talk. And like some of the really cool ones was Marsha Wallace. Remember her from the Bob Newhart show?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a very early guest. Cage Baker, who was a science fiction writer, super great. Lois McMaster Bujold, another science fiction writer, a Hugo winner. A guy named Ed Brubaker, he's an amazing comic book writer. I've had some great authors on, and a lot of comics, right?
Yeah.
And then listeners will sometimes go, can I be on? And I'm like, yeah, attainable goal to be on my podcast.
Well, wait, let me just interrupt you again for a second.
Of these. Yeah, go ahead.
When I found out that you were going to be doing the Funny Women of a Certain Age show with Carole and Leanne and Tammy, I thought, oh, great, let me see if I can get her on the podcast. So I went to your website, and it says something like, do you want to get in touch with me? Totally possible, or attainable, something like that. And I went, awesome, that's fantastic. So I like that you're an attainable person.
Right. I'm not. What am I? Famous? It's I'm famous to probably 11,000 people on the planet.
Ooh.
And if they would all give me $100 a year, I would win. That would be a livable wage, my friends.
And you wouldn't whine on the yacht.
Well, I don't think I can afford a yacht, but it would be fine. I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and we just added the bath without the benefit of copyright, because my mother-in-law moved in with us, and she. But this house is 966 square feet. I could live on $100,000 a year for a 966 square foot house, even in Los Angeles. Plus, I have a victory garden that I was going to plant today, but it didn't happen. Right, because we're always at war, and I love a garden tomato with the power of the sun. I love a garden tomato.
And also, if you grow onions, they go really nicely inside a roast chicken.
Ooh. I don't think I've done onions. Here's the thing. You take a roast chicken and you take like an old rosemary garlic bread that you bought a couple of days ago. You rip that up. You bake the chicken, just normal chicken of the got, salt, pepper, garlic. On top of that old bread, that stale. What you have at the end of that meal? Chicken bread. You have bread that has been cooked in chicken schmaltz, and you try not to eat it all. Good luck, bastards. You're screwed. You're going to eat an entire loaf of chicken bread.
I just love that you said chicken schmaltz. I can't believe you know what chicken schmaltz is. Do you know that when I was a kid, my favorite thing to have was chicken schmaltz and onions. It was the most delicious thing. My grandmother would make it for me.
Well, of course she would, because she was your grandmother. And
Yes.
did she spread that on a nice piece of bread, a little schmaltz
I
and
don't
onion?
remember.
Or it was a bowl.
Yes, I think I just ate it out of the pan. It was the best.
If she would have hotted that up, that's just onion soup. That's all it is, with a little more fat content than normal onion soup, but still pretty damn delicious.
Wow.
And I wonder why I have high blood pressure.
That's
Oh,
not why.
yeah. My cholesterol has lapped people.
Well, that was oddly, that was another thing that happened to me in February. Is I went to the doctor and had blood tests, and I came out of court low because they had to check for everything. And turns out I have to start on a statin now, which pissed me off. But I can't kid myself
Yes.
that I'm going to exercise and diet.
That's what the guy said. The guy said, if you're willing to eat differently and exercise for an hour every day, and I said, just give it to me. I didn't want to take it either. The statin, I'm taking a statin.
Right.
And I'll
Right.
tell you this. I'm on the road so much right now. There's a couple of days a week I don't take a statin because it's packed away in my belongings,
Yeah.
and it's not diabetes medicine, so I'm not that worried about it. But you know what? I don't have a medical degree, so maybe I might want to not screw around with the medicine that they told me to take every day.
When I've been diagnosed with high blood pressure for years, and I lived with my mother-in-law for 18 years, and it was a shit show. But we were doing the second special, and I'd gone to the doctor, and we were having issues because we live in a 900 square foot apartment. And I kept refusing to be on. I mean, I had to go on a statin, but I was like, no, let's try it. I'm exercising, all that bullshit. And we were about to tape the second special. And I went in there. He goes, well, you've lost weight, but your blood pressure's still high. I said, just give me the fucking pills. Because there
Yeah.
was no way living in for the.
Just too much.
Yeah, it was too much. Yeah. So just.
It stacks. It stacks. The anxiety stacks to the point where you got to pick your battles.
Right.
And
Right.
you'd think at some point you're like, well, why are there any battles at all? All I would like is some peace of mind and serenity, and try to help the person in front of me, because I don't have the skill set to fix the whole world. It doesn't mean I'm not mad about the bombing of I-80 and the drones and the horrible things in Iran, but Sudan, all of it.
Yes.
Israel.
Everything.
Oh yeah, please ask me about the Middle East, by the way. Whenever anyone asks me for an opinion about Israel and the Middle East, I always say, I hear they have great salads. They do really good work with cucumber.
See, I would not ask you that because I do not want to watch the top of your head fly off. I'm just not interested in that.
Well, and I know there's so much injustice and terribleness in the world, but I don't hang out with any of those people.
Yep.
Mhm.
And when I see them in the wild, I try to use this middle-aged white lady privilege to say, knock it off, or sometimes the F word.
Feel free. Feel
but-
free. I don't care.
Well, but the thing is, like, nothing I've ever done has gone viral. And I don't tend to lose it bad enough for it to go viral. But I pushed an old man once. If someone had filmed that, he was calling the security guard the N-word.
Oh.
And I told him to fucking knock it off. And I said, that
Yeah.
isn't okay. Fuck you. And he listened to it and he took it. The guy had to be 82 years old, and it was probably 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was in his face doing this, and he backed up and he took it until finally he said, this has nothing to do with you. And I said, it has everything to do with me because I'm an American.
Yeah.
And this is America. And he said, America, he said. And I lost my tiny lizard mind, and I pushed him. And I didn't push him down, but I pushed him into some carts. And I would love to tell you that I was the hero of that story. But here's what happens when Captain America does something heroic. He then does not go to his Corolla and cry. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. That's not his next
Probably
action.
not.
I felt both bad and not bad, because I was like, obviously I took it a step too far, but I don't regret at all telling that guy that he was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, because there's
Thank you.
And that guy's president now.
Hey,
and
you
that
know what?
guy
I wasn't
voted
going to ask.
for our president. He probably did. And I was like, dude. Anyway.
Ugh. I thank you for doing that because I don't know that I could. And that's part of what makes me insane is the complete overwhelming sense of impotence.
Right.
Oh, not in the,
Right.
not in the sexual sense, because I am a woman. I have to tell people that all the time. Now, that brings me to something that I found on your website.
The advice?
No. It's a solo show that you do, and we talk about that a lot here. But you have a show called "How Did I Get So Feminine?" And I
Oh,
love that
right.
title because you're inside my head again. Tell me about
Right.
that, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, it was part of a trilogy. In the early 2000s, solo shows were really popular. And so I wrote one called Salesmen and Thieves, and it was about my dad, my brothers, and my uncles. And then I wrote another called How Do They Get So Feminine? And it was about my mom and my stepmom and my aunt and my sister. And I turned both of those into some stand-up. I took what I could and tightened it up and put it into stand-up. And all of my stand-up is wordy magoo. I am the chattiest of all chattersons. So what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a story of how I thought of this joke, and then the punchline. That's the nature. What kind of stand-up do you do? Well, I tell a story of how I thought of this funny thing, and then I tell you the punchline. The writing of the punchline is the only writing that happens. The rest of it, sadly, is all true or hilariously true. So, How Did I Get So Feminine was about essentially my mom died and my stepmother came in and she wanted Darla, my sister and I, to be super girly. And she was like, she never wanted any kids at all, but she was like, well, if I'm going to have girls, and she was a hairdresser, she's like, well, at least I'll get to dress them up and do their hair. And Darla and I are like, not it. We're not playing. We're not doing it. And because our mother used to there's probably 3 pictures of me before the age of 8, and I think one of them I'm wearing like a ball gown and I'm a baby, and the other two I'm wearing like a pillowcase. So my mother's house skills were not great. That's because she was a child. So she had my brother when she was like 17, and she had me when she was 26. And so there are 6 of us. So she was scrambling the whole time. And then she died when I was 7, almost 8. But like the women role models in my life is what it's about. And it's about how, and it's also, at one point my father, in many ways, one of the great things about his neglect of us as children was that when he did talk to us, he didn't talk to us as boys and girls. He talked to us as all of the children he had to find money for. So it wasn't gendered at all.
Yeah.
He was like, so what do you want to do? And then you'd tell him you wanted to be a forest ranger, and he's like, that's stupid. You should be a lawyer. And you should own your own island. And you're like, I don't wanna. I want to be a forest ranger. And he was like, what else? And I was like, a teacher? He's like, there's no money in that. What are you doing there? But he did that to my brothers as well as us. And he would always say stuff like, you might as well try. Because my father has been cold calling customers for probably 70 years.
Wow.
So his idea of rejection is warped. It's much different. Plus, he's also a gambler, so he thinks the odds are going to be with him. So he's going to take no for an answer. Never. And he's going to keep trying. And if you don't want to do it, that's fine. He'll go find somebody who does. Forever and a day. And so it's what makes him optimistic. He's weirdly an optimistic guy for a guy who doesn't have a car, has never had any money for any length of time because he loves to gamble.
What does he play? I'm curious, Jackie. What's his game in gambling?
Slots when he does it now. But what?
Oh wow!
When I was a kid, he played. He did the horses and the dogs.
Yeah. See, my dad gambled also. That's why I'm telling you, we're children of the same. So weird. But my dad, not only was he a gambler, but he was a bookie.
Oh God, my dad was a bag man.
Okay, see.
It was one of the ways he paid off his debts. because he didn't have any money.
Mhm.
And then they'd say, well, then you're going to be doing some errands for us. And then he did some errands for them. And then he had to get away.
Yeah. And I always say my father never met a truck something couldn't fall out of.
He used to tell me how we got our first microwave because it was just some deal, right? It was a deal he made with a guy who owed him. The guy owed him a certain amount of money. He was like, well, how much are those microwaves for? What are you selling those for? And the guy goes, well, they're $350 because it was 76, right? And he goes, I'll knock $400 off of this windows and doors for you if give me one of those. And he had already marked it up. So, it was, he's bored. He's bored at all times. And sometimes he uses his powers for good. So, sometimes he doesn't. And it's annoying.
And sometimes he paints.
Sometimes he paints.
That's good. That's good. Maybe he should have painted your merch, your bees and your things.
I did print a couple of his paintings. I made them as T-shirts, and I was thinking of selling them, and then it was too much. But no.
All right. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to hustle for your dad. He's got that covered. Now,
That's true.
There's one other thing I want to mention to you, and that is that you have an IMDb page. I don't know if you knew that. That IMDb International Motion Picture Database.
Yeah,
movie database, right?
And I have a Wikipedia page, and I have about as much interest or I didn't create either of them. Yeah, I didn't create either of them. Yeah.
On your IMDb page, there is a link to your MySpace page.
Ah!
So of course,
which is sad because that's where I used to hide all my my NBC sets from Last Comic Standing. They never checked MySpace, and then MySpace lost all the files, probably because they got sick of storing 1 million billion bands worth of and I didn't have backups. So did you go to it?
I did indeed. Yes, of course I did. And it's mostly just, blanks, names of things that you maybe have had liked or whatever they did on MySpace. But there are two things that, again, I saw these and I went, okay, I have to ask. There was something that you had a link to called Swamp de Womp. Do you have any memory of that?
Got nothing.
Nothing.
Keep moving.
Okay. And the other one that I just busted out laughing, it was something called Oh, You and Your Bone Spurs. I can only
You
imagine.
And Your Bone Spurs? That is a sketch comedy group.
Oh, really?
That was the name of their sketch group. Yes. My friend Jim Wooster and Anna Becker had a sketch group, and it was very funny. And You and Your Bone Spurs, it was a link to their MySpace page. That's kind of funny.
Okay. Well, I assumed it had something to do with the president, but I don't know. I didn't want to say for certain.
Well, it was from it was from the late 90s. So early 2000s.
Yeah, he'd already gotten out of service by then, so it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Now, Carole, of course, I went and checked for yours as well. You do not have a MySpace page.
I actually do, but I did not link it to my IMDb page.
I went to MySpace and I typed in your name and nothing came up.
Oh, gosh, because I probably pissed off Tom.
Oh,
remember Tom? And Tom sold it. Tom was the last or the first and the last good social media guy.
Yep.
I remember when my nephew told me that it was probably 1997, and he goes, "We don't go to MySpace anymore. We're doing a Facebook thing." And I was like, "Facebook?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah."
Yep.
Is there reading? And he goes, "You wouldn't like it. Don't worry about it." Old lady Aunt Jackie. And now 3 generations later, they're like, "Old lady, you're not on TikTok or whatever the newest." What I hate is I don't want to be on LinkedIn. Don't make me go on LinkedIn.
I get messages from LinkedIn every day saying that somebody has sent me a message, and it's usually someone saying, hey, you can use AI in your... And no, I can't. No, I'm not going to. I do not want to help the machines rise any faster than they're going to already.
Nope.
So Andy was telling me that he saw some video of because I'm watching the Paralympics and I really like the breakdancing with the Summer Paralympics because there was this group that did the opening ceremonies. It was called Ill Abilities, and
Yeah.
it's breakdancers who are missing limbs
Uh-huh.
or have other disabilities, but they can freaking breakdance and they're awesome. Anyway, so my Andy was saying that he was watching a video of people dance without limbs, and I said, "Was it Ill Abilities?" And he said, "No, it was obviously AI." And the fact that everyone was like, "Oh, look at these people rising above it." I'm like, "How can you not know that it's AI?" And then he did this thing with his fingers. He was like, "Look at their hands. Their hands are doing like all these there's no way that they're that it's not AI." And I laughed and laughed. I was like, "That is an excellent impression of AI." Because it is always the fingers that
Always
mess you
the
up.
fingers, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Too
My
many
my
or
new album, Altercation, by the way,
yes.
has alter on one fist and cation on the other, and then extra letters. But the extra letters, it's not an AI joke. It is actually a reference to a Pogues album from like
Oh.
Wow.
1992.
Wa
It's a
wa
real deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah, from
wow.
someone who knows nothing about music, supposedly.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Well,
say,
and
you don't know anything about music, how do you know the Pogues?
I know what I know about music, right? Like I
Okay.
there are bands and music that I like, and I have listened. There was a guy on the show, and I said to him, "Now, have I ever heard a Beyonce song?" And he goes, "Jackie, you've been to a grocery store and a gas station. So, yes, you've heard a Beyonce song." And I was like, "Excellent point." And that's true of all of them. Like,
Mhm.
but what I really like now musically is Bridgerton takes pop songs and then makes a string quartet do them,
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's
and then they
hysterical.
dance to them. So the Bridgerton stringed versions of, like, Olivia Rodrigo, Bad Choice, right? I think that was the name of the song. And so that's pretty great.
So, okay, so you mentioned your special and your album Altercation, and I think you have the best last name for show titles. I mean, Staycation, Altercation, you've got a whole thing. Your next one should be about chewing. You can call it Mastication. I think it's going to be
Ooh.
just so many wonderful options.
Well, here's the story. Staycation was going to be called Altercation, and then we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
And then I stopped doing about 20 minutes that is currently on the new album. And I wrote 20 new minutes about being in lockdown. And so I did Staycation. And the art on that was so good because it was, the stock footage from
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
50s
yeah.
where there's an audience of 3D glasses. The artist took that art and then put masks on everybody.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
very fun.
That's
So that was
awesome.
Staycation. And so then I really wanted to use Altercation. So I've decided to do a trilogy. Staycation, because we were all home and my last name's Cation.
Mhm.
Altercation, because my last name's Cation. I want to punch everybody in the nose.
Right.
And then whatever the next one is, it'll be, depending on how this goes, it might be vindication. It might
Okay.
be abdication, right?
Yeah.
I might fucking run. You don't know. So
We look forward. I look forward to that. I've been a fan of yours for quite some time, and didn't want to open with that because it feels weird and icky. But I have been a fan of Jackie Kashian for just days and extra days, as they used to say in my old neighborhood. And I am delighted that you spent some time with us today to do this. I know you've got places to go, things to be, people to do, however they put that. So I know that you, Jackie, are going to be in Portland, Oregon, March 19 and 20. Correct?
yeah. Yeah, I'm subbing the Thursday, Friday, Portland Helium, 19th
Nice.
to 20th. Yeah.
And then on the 27th of March with the aforementioned Maria Bamford in Madison, Wisconsin, which is pretty awesome.
Right, I'm doing Madison, Milwaukee, and essentially outside of Detroit with Maria at the end of March.
Nice.
And
Nice.
and then I'm going to Germany. So I'm doing
Sehr
a couple of
gut.
sets in Germany, in Berlin, and we're gonna do an escape room based on the Cold War.
Oh, dear.
Oh, nostalgia. DDR. Anyway, I'm staying in a hotel called Checkpoint Charlie.
Oh, gee.
Uh,
That doesn't give me the willies at all. And then
Right.
Carole, I know that the next Funny Women show is April 25th in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I like saying Woonsocket. That's a fun
It's
word.
a great yeah. But also, what I'm really excited about just by myself is,
Yeah.
Leanne Lord every year does the Irma Bombeck writing workshop.
Yeah.
Does
And
she?
yeah, she hosts it every year, and I've always wanted to be part of it, and they asked me this year, so I'm teaching this year. I'm doing the comedy boot camp, and I'm so
Nice.
excited because 'cause I've never considered myself a writer, so
Yeah.
the fact that I'm
What?
like
Yeah.
I know, but it's just
But
it's
I
weird,
get it. Yeah.
and so I'm just thrilled. So that's the last weekend of March. It's at, the University of Dayton, so I'm thrilled about that. It's like, "Oh, vindication."
Yes.
I've
And
heard that
Leah
before.
Lord, I have not seen her in 20 years. So smart, so funny.
Yep.
Just I was trying to explain to Lori Kilmartin, it's sort of like cleverly sly. Like it's just clever and just but dry.
Yep.
And it's a delight. It's a freaking delight watching Leanne Lord do a stand-up comedy, as yourself as
She
well.
is pretty awesome. Yes.
And the same to
And
you, Miss
I
Wilson.
I actually have a date to mention. Hold on to something, kids. March 21st, I'm going to be in Bedford Hills in Westchester. And then March 25th, I'm going to be on jury duty. So that's not a TV show.
Yeah.
That's my life. So again, Jackie Kashian, what a treat to talk to you. I'm so glad you had some time that we could arrange this to actually
Thank
happen.
you.
Please check out her assortment of podcasts. Please watch Altercation on YouTube. Please check out the Funny Women of a Certain Age.com so you can get tickets to see the shows. Follow Carole Montgomery. Follow Jackie Kashian. Follow our what is this called? Our podcast.
Podcast.
Wait, I did lose my mind. Okay, good. And that's it. At the end of every episode, Jackie, we just say bye. So say bye.
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 Bye, everybody.